Good morning, afternoon, and or evening, fellow gamers! Pretty much today, I decided to go over a bunch of companions in Pirate101 and give them typings as if they were Pokemon, since Pokemon Legend of Arceus is coming out soon, and I just wanted to make this kind of video. But before we actually get into this video, roll the intro! Okie dokie, terrible transition aside, let's begin by simply explaining the main points of the video, which is to give a bunch of companions typing as if they were Pokemon, and to attempt to not make them all fighting or steel type because it would be too simple since it's going off their weaponry and their fighting capabilities, yada yada yada, all that stuff. I don't want to make it boring pretty much. Also, I wanted to have every Pokemon type used by a companion so it seems different enough, and yeah, pretty much it led to some pretty bizarre typing. But it made enough sense with some deep explanations. Now we can begin typing companions, and as always, begin with a fairly boring character in this context, being the electric type Bonnie Ann, which is typed like such because of her trusty gun using electric powers. Next we have Kobio Jimbo, which too is super boring since he's a pure fighting type. Bloody hell! Okay. Then this is pretty much because of his powerful samurai orders and his swift powerful attacks, that's about it. Finally, we can get into an interesting companion, being Sabodai, who I made into a steel and ice type. He's a steel type as a result of his tanky nature and his heavy armor and weapons. And the ice typing comes from the fact that he came from the Golden Horde, which were barbarians who raided villages into chilling Sabata Skyway, plus he has a very cold yet analytical view on things. Normal and Fairy is a fairly weird type, but it fits Egg-Shen perfectly. This is because he's pretty much a jack of all trades, making him pretty much normal in a sense, and his famously jovial personality puts him in the Fairy type. Wing-Chun is dark and flying, and I feel like I need a little explanation on why I gave him the typing, because for one, he's agile, and a bird, and insults you in very creative ways. The Kanpo, one witty as the crane, while not being a fricker like the one prior, which is psychic type for his habitual poet-like comments, and the Grass because of his healing abilities and personality. The big beloved Barnabas is built like a beast, which is the reason why I made this armored animal into a pure steel type, unlike the dexterous swashbuckler named Sarah Steel, which is a fighting type. Commander Emmett had a bunch of types that fit him, but not too well. Fire or electric for his gun, fairy for his healing abilities, flying for his hurricanes, but I ended up making him into a very electric type. Okay, here's a stretch. Louis LeBisque is a bug and fire type. Sounds insane, just like the fact that I'm deciding to put in a plugging section into this video. Yeah, it's time for me to be obnoxious once again, and tell you to like this video, subscribe, comment if you like this video, not hit the notification bell because I personally don't do that, so I don't believe that you should be forced to do that. But I will force you to sit through this atrocious bit and to check out the rest of my videos, because I do a bunch of different kinds of videos, most of them being videos on Pirate101 while the rest are on various other games. Now, back to the catastrophe of LeBisque's typing. He was given to fire typing because of his cannon launching attacks and barrage of bombs, plus the bug type because he's a crab, and I needed to somehow put a bug type into a companion. The mysterious Mormo makes his way into the typing of a psychic ghost from his spooky magical attacks and background. Peter, being a pelican and use of fish attacks make him into a pure water type. The frog, Fan Flanders, is fighting, and the mini Marchioness makes it as a steel type because she is bulky in battle and has a load of armor on her. The quick, energetic Musketeer Chanta Livingstone swoops into the typing of flying and electric, and Grimtooth's huge draconic-like body archetype makes him into a dragon type, along with the psychic type, because he's magical. Now for the Presidio companions, which consists of very interesting type characters. First of them being the crab with an impenetrable shell, the bug, rock type, Burgess Latrobe. Because Spardavel probably has more armor on him than body mass, turning him into the typing of steel, and has various attacks that can use the ground, so I also turned him into a ground type, which is a bit of a stretch, but it works out in the end. Yeah, 100% totally. I mean, it makes enough sense, doesn't it? But the next one's much more explanatory, being the cheerful Lucky Jack Russell, whose jolly and confident personality allows him to charge into battle as a fairy type. Contrasting with him, we have the dismal dead Mike, who will be a dark type, and a ghost type since he's dead. Contrasting once more, we have one that I know little about besides the fact that he's Cowardice, being Milo Greytail, which because of it turned him into a normal type. Old Scratch is similar to dead Mike in the fact that he too is dead and a ghost type, but his history of dark magic adds on the dark type, which Dead Mike also has. That's a bit of a script error, but can't be too big of a deal, can it? Ratbeard's a criminal that managed to pay for his crimes by killing the killer who killed his crew, and also by helping orphans. Oh god, just choked on something, but pretty much he's a dark and fairy type, yeah. Ignoring the fact that I just choked on my spit, we move on to the zealous El Toro, who pretty much is a charismatic master of the blade, making him a pure fighting type. Billy the Kid is an energetic electric type, Buffalo Bill's a beefy fighting type, Jane Canary's an accurate flying type, Wild Bill Peacock is a chaotic electric flying type, Duck Holiday is a smoking poison dark type, and Bat Masterson is a mysterious dark flying type. Monkey King's celestial status and mastery of trickery turns him into a psychic dark type. Gracie Conrad's pretty much just a basic dog. That's smart! Making her into a normal psychic type. The fiendish, fish-loving, swashbuckler are words to describe the infamous privateer titled Catbeard, who's a dark type for managing to start a war between two nations and his habit of lying, and water because he likes fish. The almighty son of Zeus, epic hero, Hercules is clearly a fighting type, but his phenomenal attacks strike the earth along the feeble foe being targeted, which makes him a ground type too. We reached the final destination of this video being Contessa Argento, who sadly is completely and utterly underwhelming, being a pure fighting type because of her agile fencing abilities. That wraps everything up. Not well, of course, but I hope it's functional enough, and I hope that this video made you, the viewer, happy, and also roll the outro.